from the Instagram account of Old Man Ebro, or Ebro Darden, and I have made at least one video about him. He is a classic race baiter, even though he has one white parent and a white wife that could not be any more stereotypical. She does like fitness tutorials and Starbucks stuff on YouTube, but he wants you to know that racist, the big, scary, mean, racist boogeyman is always out to get you. And here is a little bit of shill inception. This is what they do. Ebro and D.L. Hughley and Bakari Sellers and Van Lathan and all these guys repost each other to make sure that you know that the racism boogeyman is always hiding behind the corner and he's going to get you. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because it would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description. And here's the quote, the caption says, well, first, my guy, D.L. Hughley is on point right here. Do you see any lies? Well, absolutely. You guys are both totally terrible shills.
Kids, you're both just awful.
But Kamala did not lock up the thousands I said she did. I told that lie too. I'm going to apologize by helping her get elected. Not black. She's black enough for mediocre white men to call her a DEI hire. Okay, DL, you told that. Why did you tell that lie? Right? So were you lying then? Or are you lying now? Or are you lying both times? What are you talking about? You want us to believe that you just randomly told a lie about Kamala Harris because what somebody told you to? Or did somebody tell you to reverse that lie now? What's actually going on?
Kamala Harris did not, in fact, lock up the thousands of people that I said she did. I told that lie, and I have apologized to it. Not only have
But why did you tell that lie? Are you going to tell us who told you to tell that lie? Or why you came up with that?
I apologize. I've said to her, not only am I going to keep apologizing, because I think it did that much damage, I am going to do what I can do to make sure you become the 47th. At this time, I said...
No, this is you, and they're doing this on all different fronts, right? They are just rewriting history, pretending, oh, well, remember, the mainstream news media was telling us that she was the border czar. No, she wasn't actually the border czar.
Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
Most notoriously, Axios said that, you know, she's a border czar, but then they retracted their own story claiming that she's not the border czar. Then there's the other story about the no tax on tips, which is obviously plagiarism, right? Oh, Donald Trump says no tax on tips and it's going to cost the government $10 billion over the next 10 years. But then when Kamala does it, I mean, it's just through the roof. They are rewriting history in front of our eyes. But why? If, which is a huge if because you're a real greasy scumbag constantly lying, but if we were to take you at your word now, why did you tell the lie then?
I said to her when I apologized, I'm going to make sure you get elected. I didn't say re-elected. I said elected. And now here it is, that opportunity. To me, that is divine. That is something that's supposed to have happened. If you are the people right now who are misquoting her record, we are not the same.
But why did you misquote? Why don't you just explain to us? That would make you a little bit more believable if you tell us why you were misquoting her record from back in the day.
If you believe that her locking people up from weed is worse than a man who says he wants to give dope dealers the death penalty, we are not the same. If you want me to remember her past but not Trump's past, we're not the same.
What past? What are you talking about? What past? You talking about the Central Park 5? What past are you talking about?
If you want to remind me of her record but don't want to talk about Project 2025.
She doesn't have a record. That's the whole point. And she refuses to say anything about it. So she sends people like you out there, probably with a big bag of money with a $sign on the side, to say that, oh, I was lying about her then, but I'm not lying about her now. And Project 2025, so what? Sounds amazing to me.
Have you ever noticed the same black people that want to tell you she sold all this weed and locked all these people up, tell you they don't believe that 2025 is Trump's plan for a second term?
It's not. It's not. I wish it were. Project 2025 sounds pretty good to me, but it's not. The Heritage Foundation has literally taken credit for it, and he has his own plan, Project 47 or something like that, I believe it's called. But these people are this is pure evil.
There is a reason for that. If you're telling me you're not going to vote for her because she has a white husband, then we're not the same. But if you're going to say she has a white husband, you better have a black wife when you say it. Don't tell me that somebody's Latin or Asian. I think that shouldn't be the predicate anyway. But if you are accusing her marital choices, you better make sure yours are in line with the accusations you make. We are not.
We are not the same, bro. This is absolutely pathetic. And this is why people think that the Democrats are paying him off. And I don't know. I truly don't know. I hope they are, because I can't imagine he's really that stupid.
Not the same if these are, well, she ain't black enough. I tell you what, she's a black woman. She went to Oakland. She's from Oakland. She went to an HBCU. She's an AKA. She had a boyfriend named Willie. And she got a name, first name that's hard for everybody to pronounce. It sounds different than it's spelled. That's black enough for me. But what I do know for...
But what does that matter? What does it have to do with one single policy position? The only policy position that you're talking about is one that you quote-unquote lied about years ago.
Sure. Is that she can win if we decide it is so. And if that is not your goal...
Who is we, bro? This guy is absolutely infuriating me. Who is we? What are you talking about, bro?
We are not the same. Your we and my we are not the same.
We're not.
Well, she, everything else. I don't care about none of that. I ain't got time to tarry. What I am trying to do is to make sure that I make good on something. I wronged this woman. I lied on her and hurt her reputation. And if you're telling me where was she at for 4 years, you idiot. She's the vice president of the United States of America. And the vice presidency is a ceremonial position. It's a ceremony.
This is them. Look, I've had enough of this guy. This is them obviously rewriting history in front of our eyes, saying, I lied on her then. Why did you do that, bro? And why should we believe you now? If you're admitting to lying then your credibility is shot, if you ever had any. And here he is talking to DJ Vlad. It says, D.L. Hughley responds to people asking how much the Democrats are paying him to spread lies. So obviously, I am not the only one. It is crystal clear that he is a paid shit. Well, I don't know if he is a paid shill, but he is a shill either way. He'd be pretty silly to not get paid for this. But DJ Vlad has, nearly 6 million YouTube subscribers. He's all over Twitter, Instagram. I mean, he's a powerhouse as far as the hip-hop community is concerned. And the number one question he got to ask D.L. Hughley is, how much are the Democrats paying you?
We have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
But when I actually put out, to my social media followers, what should I ask D.L. Hughley in our next interview? The number one question is, how much are the Democrats paying you to spread lies to the people?
And then Vlad, laughs like, I can't believe that was. That's the number one question, bro. You have millions of followers, millions of subscribers. That's the number one question for this guy, and you laugh it off as though it's completely fake. What is going on here? But of course, DJ Vlad is a weirdo San Francisco libtard, so he can't see clearly. And in their defense, they come from a different era, right? They made their name years ago when everything wasn't overtly political.
Heard this before.
Yeah, I very rarely listen to because what people think about me is literally none of my business.
Right.
But the thing that's interesting is, you know me for a long time. I work every week.
Yeah.
I'm on the road every week. I do radio every day. It says a lot about somebody who thinks.
Yeah, and those are all the spots where you spew your weirdo lies and propaganda.
It has to be transactional. I believe in what I'm saying.
Right.
And if I didn't believe in what I was saying, I wouldn't do it. Like when we had that whole dust up about the vaccine, not only did I take it, my family took it, we all took it together, my grandchildren took it. I don't just talk shit for money. I work for money. I do what I believe. And if it says a lot about human beings who don't believe in anything unless there's a fiduciary connection to it. Like,
it's pretty obvious. Okay, look, I don't know if there's a fiduciary connection, but that would be better for you because otherwise you just look completely stupid. And when you go on radio and backtrack on the lies you told about Kamala Harris, it obviously will bring up loads of questions as to why did you do this complete 180, which, I mean, could be said for the entire media landscape, right? I mean, you could see, oh, well, Kamala Harris, in 2021, they said, oh, Kamala Harris should step down. She's got the lowest approval rating. That was then. This is now. She's the savior of the party. And you were telling lies on her. For what reason?
I work with you because I fuck with you. You know, but you know, if they don't like what I'm doing, they're free not to listen. But ultimately, I do what I believe.
Listen, I know the answer, but it's always like some conspiracy theory that you're secretly getting payments under the table. And
why would I? Listen, who is Warren Buffett? He invests in things that he uses, right?
Right.
It's prudent to invest in things that you use.
Right, as do I.
You're right. So
okay, look, whatever. Now, obviously, I don't know. He's probably not going. Even if he were getting paid, he certainly wouldn't admit it. But I am under the impression that he really does believe this. This just basically means his brain has rotted into mush and is leaking out of his ears, and he's doing this all for free. So he's literally just jumping through hoops and saying, well, I apologize to Kamala Harris and I spread lies about her however many years ago. But why did you do that? Maybe you should ask him that.
If you, on the radio, I don't ever advertise something I don't use. So if I were getting paid by the Democratic convention, I'd say it. Why would I be ashamed of it? Mm-hmm. And if they were paid, matter of fact, the fact that I work,
you wouldn't be ashamed of it. You would not do it because they told you not to do it.
So hard, and it is for free, makes me a little bit stupid.
You should be getting paid for it.
But that's not my get down. I work so that I can do what it is I love.
Yeah, that does make you really stupid. And, you know, perhaps you're not getting paid, but you literally should be. And even with all that said, I don't think your propaganda is even working.